Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library.
Hi, you're watching Tuition, and this is a particular module that I am very excited about. Yes, Mother, I get to play them finally. I am in fact talking about the drums, and this fine young man is going to take me through my paces, isn't that right? Mr. Graham Fox, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
All right, thanks.
Are you excited as much as I am?
Yeah, to teach you.
Are you very scared, actually?
A little bit, I am,
be.
I must admit, yes. I've heard certain things and it doesn't fill me with glee.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is one particular instrument that I've wanted to play for a very long time, and as a small child, when I asked if I could do it, I was kindly given the recorder instead.
That's no
and
good.
told to shoo away. But today I get to do it, and you are the man that is going to make my dream come true.
I am, hopefully. We'll see.
But okay, so what are we going to be doing in these modules?
Well, we're going to start right at the beginning, obviously.
Okay, that's fine.
The first half of this show, we're not even going to touch the drums.
Don't tell me that.
We're not going to touch the drums. We're going to start off with some just basic rhythmic ideas, coordination things, using our hands and our feet.
Okay, I don't have any coordination, I'll just let you know that.
Okay,
right now.
well, I think we might be able to prove you wrong on that one, but hopefully, anyway.
Okay.
But as the shows progress, we're going to take it, the students through some basic grooves and some fills. All of these terms will become apparent as we do them.
Yep.
And just learn some basic styles and all that sort of thing so that people can just get on the drums and have a bit of fun, really. That's the idea.
This is the most excited I have been since joining the channel. Okay, so should we get really back to basics? Say I'm just sort of a kid who wants to learn. How would I go about it?
Well, the first thing you need to do is find a drum kit. That doesn't mean you have to go and buy one.
They're quite expensive.
They are quite expensive. You can spend anything from, I guess, £200 second hand, and that's if you're lucky, right through into sort of thousands of pounds, really. So what I recommend to all of my new students is that they just try and get regular access to a drum kit, either in a school or in the village halls or wherever you live. You know, if there's a drum kit, go and find it. You know, sometimes you'll find that rehearsal studios, they have in-house kits that you can hire and just book out a small room and take the kit into there and just practice. Yeah, exactly. Go around to your friends. Anyone that's got a drum kit will soon have a lot of friends, you know, which is great.
And a soundproofed room.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, get yourself a pair of sticks. That's all you need, really, and regular access.
Okay. I know that, especially at school, when I was there, which was a very long time ago, there was no drum kit there. We were given, I think, the choice of lessons of trumpet, maybe a guitar lessons, but certainly not things today in modern terms like the drum kit, electric guitars, stuff like that. So
yeah,
more schools are.
I think certainly schools are more open to that, the sort of pop end of things now, and they realise that kids want to learn the drums and they want to learn the bass and the guitar. So more and more schools are actually, if they can afford it, going out and buying a kit. And I think every school that I've been into has had at least one drum kit. So there's definitely that for children, certainly. But if you're an adult wanting to learn, the sort of rehearsal studio thing is definitely a way forward to find.
And maybe even if you ever get a tutor or whatever, he might be able to recommend, or she might be able to recommend somewhere to play as well. So after watching these, you will be able to know exactly where to go. Okay, so we've obviously talked about that. You talked about the cost and everything. I mean, obviously, if you are serious and you decide that you want to take it up and practice every day, you can possibly get a second-hand one, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Things like Loot and all the sort of free ads papers, you see kits in there all the time. But you've got to be careful that you don't buy a duffer, because you know, get someone's advice. If you've got a tutor, ask them before you go and spend a whole load of cash on a load of stuff that's not appropriate. I mean, if you look at these two kits, you can see they're different sizes.
This is mine, isn't it?
This is your kit, yes. And it's smaller. It's great for kids because it's nice and small.
And shiny.
Yeah. Yes, so
Such
perfect
a
for you. But an 8-year-old child trying to learn the drums is not going to be best suited to a huge rock kit that they can't even reach the pedals on. So it's something to bear in mind, you know, if you're young and trying to get started out, that you buy something that's the right size, if nothing else.
Well, enough banter. Let's get down to it.
Let's get stuck in. Okay, well, basically we're going to start off by doing some clapping games, like you probably remember from your school days when you're in the playground. Girls particularly would end up doing clapping games and doing all this kind of patting thing, which boys were always rubbish at because they were too busy playing football and all that other kind of stuff.
And lifting girls' skirts up.
But this is basically where we're going to start. So we're going to start on our laps, and this is what you can do if you don't have a drum kit and you want to get started. If you do this, by the time you actually sit behind the drums, you'll at least have an idea of how to play something.
Okay.
Right? So, are you right-handed?
I certainly am.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. The right hand is going to be, I'm going to tell you what instrument it's going to be. Don't worry about it too much because we'll talk about that when we actually get onto the kits. But this is going to be your hi-hat hand. Okay? Hi-hat. And this is going to be your snare drum hand, left hand.
So hi-hat,
right?
Snare,
yes. Hi-hat, snare. And then your bass drum is going to be with your right foot. Okay?
Yep.
So what we're just going to do to begin with is, I should really talk about the notes the length of notes we're going to play.
Okay.
That's quite important. We're going to deal with, first of all, quarter notes. Now that's the American term for it, and English school kids will be used to the word crotchets.
I was going to say, that's my term that I remember reading music, because it was crotchets.
Crotchets. So the quarter notes in American terminology.
Again, all these Americanisms coming out.
Well, yeah, but they're actually really good because a lot of Western pop music, a lot of it is in 4/4, 4 beats in a bar.
Yeah.
So the reason that quarter notes the term has come about is because you can fit 4 quarter notes into a bar.
Which
4
makes
beats.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's your quarter notes. So in your hi-hat hand, you're going to play quarter notes on every pulse. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you keep that going and counting in your head, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The next instrument we're going to bring in, or hand, is your left hand snare drum on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on 2, here we go, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you keep that going, that's the hands dealt with. Next off, we're going to bring in the last limb, your bass drum foot, right foot, and that's going to go on 1 and 3, so it shouldn't be coming with the snare drum, but with the hi-hat only.
Okay, I'm going to watch you first.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So try it. That's it. Good. So the hi-hat keeps going, and the bass drum and snare drum, right foot and left hand, alternate. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Great.
Whoa!
There's your first beat.
Oh, come on. Yes, thank you very much. That was actually it was a bit complicated, and sorry, but I wasn't actually listening to anything you were saying at the end, but only because I was really concentrating
on the counting and
on what my foot was doing,
hands,
what my hands were doing, but also, like I said, I was trying to think mathematically about which part of my body was doing what, and it's damn hard.
Absolutely, yeah. But the counting thing is really important, and to be able to vocalise, or at least count in your head, is really important, because the drummer's main job in a band is to keep time. That's the main job. The rhythm, exactly. So if you can't count and do it, you don't really get an idea of the length of time that you're playing for, and how to keep each limb in what beat and all that kind of thing. So it's important to be able to vocalise as well as get all your limbs going. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not expecting you to hold a conversation with me at the moment, but we'll get to that. Okay, so do you like Michael Jackson?
No. I love his music. I was going to say I love him. But I love his music, yes I do. Very, very much indeed.
And how about Stevie Wonder?
Oh, he's God.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to take the beat that we've just done and take it a little stage further.
Okay.
And this is basically the beat from, you know, Billie Jean?
Yeah.
Okay, and Superstition?
Yes, I do.
The basic beat from there, this is what we're going to now do. And it's almost the same as we did before, but what we're going to do is add in, you know, we talked about eighth notes before. Yep. We're going to play eighth notes in our right hand now.
Quavers.
Exactly.
Thank you.
In the right hand. The hi-hat hand is going to play eighth notes. Bass drum is still going to go on 1 and 3.
Yep.
Snare drum still on 2 and 4. Ooh. So you're just doubling the speed of this. So we're going to start off again, just with the hands.
Just polish my hands there.
Okay. Eighth notes in the right hand. So I'll count us in. Okay. And the way that I count eighth notes, and this is fairly common, standard way of counting it, is to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Exactly. So the number's still there, but in between every single one you say and.
Okay.
So in your right hand you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So keep that going and counting in your head. 3 and 4 and. Put the snare in on 2 and 4. 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now keep that going, and you're going to put the bass drum in back on 1 and 3. 2, 3 and 4 and. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. 1,
come on!
3, 4. 1. Just concentrate on the drum, Sam. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bass from Billie Jean goes like this, and 4 and. Dum, 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 dum.
Right guys, I hope you've been watching this at home. I'm making a bit of a fool out of myself, but I'm doing very well. I hope you're practicing this. And we're going to go to the drums after the break. Thank you, Graham. That was great.
Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library. Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library.
Hi, welcome to Tuition, and I am finally where I am destined to be, behind a drum kit. Come on! Sorry, I got a bit excited then. Now, Graham, you've allowed me to sit behind this wonderful, wonderful thing.
I have, yes.
I actually haven't played them yet, but I'm dying to.
Well, put your sticks down.
No, you keep doing this to me. It's not fair.
No, we got to start off by just talking about all the different instruments.
Yeah, whatever.
So we'll get to the playing bit in a minute. Okay, first of all, just talking about what they all are.
Okay.
We're going to start off from the bass drum, which is, like we discussed earlier, the right foot. Okay, so if it isn't already, put your right foot onto the pedal, and it's shaped quite like a shoe, right? So you should be able to find its natural position.
Yeah.
So ideally, you shouldn't have your foot right up against the chain of the pedal, and it shouldn't be right at the back of the pedal either.
Nice and sort of.
So yeah. Okay, so that's your bass drum, and there we have it. Exactly. Okay. Next, what was in our left hand? The snare drum, okay? And that's the one that's right in front of you between your legs there. Exactly. Now, the reason this drum gets its name, if you have a look around the drum, there should be a lever on it somewhere.
Yeah.
Just pull that lever off, pull it down. That's taken off. Underneath you have some what are called snare wires. And that's, when you turn it off by pulling the lever down, it changes the sound of the drum to this. Okay? And as you turn it back on again, you get this. So that's your snare drum.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what was your left hand, yes?
Yes.
Next, your left foot should also be on a pedal, and that's the hi-hat. So at the moment, the hi-hat's open, and then when you put your foot down,
Yeah.
it closes. So if you take your right hand stick, and we'll talk about grip in a minute.
Okay.
That's your hi-hat there. Exactly. And if you leave it open, you get that kind of sound.
Yay!
Okay, good. Now, next, cymbals. Okay, so these are all cymbals.
Okay.
These are your hi-hats.
Why haven't I got that?
Well, it makes a lot of noise, and I didn't really want to put it in front of you just yet.
Keep the cymbal away from Sam.
So this is the crash cymbal over here, okay?
Okay.
Generally smaller than these ones over here. And these make a lot of noise, hence I haven't given you one. Okay, crash cymbals, their purpose are basically to accentuate certain points in songs or make a feature of something. So at the beginning of a tune, if you're just about to come in, you might say, here I am, crash.
Yes.
Right?
As
at the
always,
end,
makes an entrance.
this is my end, crash.
Okay.
Okay, or if you're wanting to accentuate a guitar sort of line, you know, you might just hit the cymbal once or something, you know, it just depends. They have various different uses. Over here we have the ride cymbal, which you do have one of those. Okay, now the ride plays a very similar role to the hi-hats. They sort of share the role of just kind of laying down a kind of blanket of sound that you play off. So this keeps time, like there. So you know when we did the 1 and 2 and 3 on the hi-hat, you could do that on the ride as well. You just get a different kind of sound. So it sounds like. So there's your ride. Okay. And then down here we have the Tomtoms. Okay. So exactly 3 toms. It's quite standard to have 3 toms on a kit, and that's high, medium, and low or floor tom. Depending on what sort of style of music you play, if you're a jazz drummer, they quite often will use just 2 tom-toms. It's just a stylistic thing. And then if you're a rock drummer, for example, you might have a whole wealth of drums. But it just depends, you know. But 3 toms is quite sort of standard to have on a kit.
Okay.
Now, I think it might just be about time to actually try and play that beat real time on the kit. Okay? So, before we do so though, we're going to get the grip sorted out, stick grip. Okay, so put your sticks back down one more time. The twirl, very important, as a rock goddess.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so you've got the sticks on the drum. Now, if you just pick them up, as you normally would, you've pretty much got your grip already. Okay, so it's as easy as that.
Yeah.
But just to clarify, the easiest way to find the grip is take your hand. Your stick is going to be balanced in the first groove of your index finger. Okay, so pop it on there, and then put your thumb on top. Okay, so it should be kind of in line with the thumb. So it all is nice and even there. Now, there's no one way to hold the stick. This is just a good grip. Teachers will show you various different ways, but this is the way that I like people to hold their stick. The other 3 fingers just rest on the stick, not grabbing, and certainly not doing that either. So they just help the stick balance when it's in your hand. Okay. Now, if you hold the stick too high up, the balance completely goes. You've got nothing. All the weight is at the wrong end of the stick. And likewise, if you hold it too far down, it kind of overbalances and you've got too much weight at this end. So find the right point to hold the stick. And a good measure of doing that is just that you just have a little bit at the ends of the stick showing. Yeah, that's great. Okay, and again, you'll find where you like to hold your stick, so people will, you know, hold them in different places. But that's just roughly where we are. So into the first groove of the index finger, put your thumb on top, and make sure you've got it in both hands, and that the sticks, nearly.
You didn't want to do that, Mr. Rankin, now did you?
That you're not like this. Okay, so they should be matched. All right, and this is called match grip. You'll see some people playing like this. It's kind of quite a traditional marching band or all of that kind of thing, all of that stuff. Or jazz drummers often do this kind of thing. But we're like this, okay? Now, hi-hat with your right hand, snare drum with your left hand, which goes underneath, okay? So none of this, right? Underneath. okay? And then your bass drum with your right foot. Left foot is going to stay firmly down so that your hi-hats are closed, okay? Now, as you won't be able to see this, but we've got some visuals that you don't need to know about, but I'm just going to explain to the viewers at home how this works, okay? So, as you work down what's called the stave, which has 5 lines on it, fairly standard format for reading music, your hi-hat, or all the cymbals, generally are marked with X's at the top, okay? So, like that. So the hi-hat is at the top, and then underneath you've got the snare drum in the middle, and then the bass drum at the bottom, which are marked with just a note that looks kind of like that.
That's
really. That's for snare and bass,
right,
and that's for your cymbals, okay? And the key shows quarter notes, and they just have the stem of the thing going up or down away from the notes. So the bass drum would look like, can't figure out that for you, I think, and the snare drum would look like that.
I get you.
And then the hi-hat's going to be like that. So, looking at the music that we've got, we're going to play the Billie Jean beat, but I've written it out in quarter notes. So you know we did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and put the snare drum on 2 and 4?
Yes.
Well, the way I've written it so that we do it all in quarter notes is just to count to 4, putting the bass drum on 1 and the snare drum on 3. So you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's the same beat, but we're just doing it in quarter notes this time.
Okay.
Okay. So over here you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass drum on 1 still, but snare drum on 4. So you get, sorry, snare drum on 3.
So bass drum 1.
1, snare 3.
Yeah.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You're playing Billie Jean, Sam.
Yay! Can I speed up a bit?
Yes. I tell you what, we'll stop and I'll count you back in, but we'll do it faster.
Okay, that's good.
It's just good practice to get into.
Am I in time? I'm not racing.
Yeah. No, you're not racing at all. Good timekeeping.
Is there potential?
Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, mother, you're going to be sad.
But I don't really like it. People practice when they're practicing. My students, if I catch them doing this. I don't really like them to do that, because when you're playing in a band, that's the worst thing that you could do. You're getting faster and slower. So either you practice at one tempo, you think, okay, that's good, now I'm going to do it a bit faster, but you stop and then start again. And often your tutor will stop you, bring you back in and count you back in.
Round with the stick and make you start again.
And start again.
Best way to do it. Okay, well, so if I do this, when I've done it for a very, very short time, I would like you to show me how it's done.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we'll try one more time.
Okay.
I'll count you in. Remember, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass on 1, snare on 3, hi-hats on all 4. Okay. And we're going to do it a little bit faster. Okay. If it all goes wrong, don't worry.
Okay.
All right. So I'll give you 2 bars in of 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just try and bring everything in at once.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you know what? You play me out. I'm rubbish. I need practice. See you next week.
Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library. Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library.
Hello, welcome to Tuition. This is a smile because I am where I am meant to be for the whole of my life. If you saw the programme last time, you'd have seen me play this baby very well, I think. But it has made Sammy a very happy girl. I played Billie Jean, didn't I?
You did indeed.
Or Superstition, if you want to call it that. Okay, so Graham, Mr. Graham Fox, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for putting through your paces last week.
That's all
I
right.
really enjoyed myself.
Well, we're going to take it a step
I have
further.
been practicing, but what are we going to be doing today?
We're going to take it a step further and just introduce some extra bass drum things and do our first drum fills.
Our first
Drum fills.
drum fill. Okay, I haven't got a clue what that is, but I'm sure you'll be able to tell me.
We'll
what it
get
is
to that.
later.
That'll be in the second half. Okay, so remember Billie Jean from last week? We're just going to play that beat again. Okay. So where was the bass drum? Where was the snare
The
drum?
bass drum was on your right foot. The hi-hat was on your right hand.
Yep.
And the snare is on your left hand.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to have all four in the hi-hat. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass drum on 1, snare drum on 3. And we're going to take it nice and slowly so that everyone can practice along.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm just going to leave you to it. So I'll count you in, and we'll just get as a recap, just playing it. 2, 3, 4. And I'll give you 2 bars in. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, Billie Jean, lovely. All right, now, what we're going to do is split into 2 parts, okay? I'm going to play the first part, which is exactly what you did.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you 3 variations